American dream is bigger than it's supposed to be. Listen up. This is for the all-nighters and the way too early bus riders. The ones paying homage to the past by hustling like there's no tomorrow. Los hijos de inmigrantes who become the bridge between la luna y el sol. This is where you shatter stereotypes and glass ceilings, where you honor abuelita's name and your parents' struggle. How their hearts smile at the sight of your success. You, the link that breaks generational chains. You, their heirloom, their legacy in motion. Confirmation que todo tendrá prosperidad. A promise to be more, hacer more, vivir more. So when they ask you where you're going, tell them in a voice that echoes back across borders and oceans that you will go as far as you choose to.
I have been waiting for this time. Welcome to the McDonald's Hacer Education Tour Workshops, the Parents Edition. It's parent time. Thank you, parents. Thank you, parents. We speak the same language. Thank you for being here, for your sacrifices, for your time, for putting the kids wherever they are, for cooking, cleaning, and still making time to be here. What do we have planned? And wait a minute, who am I? Who is this woman? My name is Natasha Carrizosa. You can call me Natty. I am your MC for this evening. Natty, what do we have planned for this parent workshop? What is all this Hacer More business about? Well, we are here to help you facilitate, encourage you to play an active role, which I'm sure you already are, active role in your students, your children's, young people's journey on their journey to higher education. I need to calm down. I've been waiting for this, y'all. We are going to provide financial resources, tips, and everything about the Hacer Scholarship. Let me tell y'all something. You do not want to miss this. You don't want to miss anything. You want to take screenshots. You want to share this information. We want to encourage you to share everything that we share with other parents, students, everybody. Also, we got you, boo. At the end of this workshop, someone is going to win a $25 McDonald's gift card, Arch card. They're giving away 25 of them, y'all. $25 McDonald's Arch cards. That QR code and that text right there, you're going to need that. Text Hacer More to 866-213-5881. Hit that QR code. Parents, I know we old school, so all you have to do is take your phone. Put it up to that QR code. It's going to do some stuff. You follow the link. It's that easy. But if you can't do that, text Hacer More to 866-213-5881. And one lucky grand prize winner is going to win $500 to Walmart, $500 Walmart gift card. Do you know how much support you can give your students, your kids with $500? Backpacks, school supplies, school clothes, everything. We got you. We want you to engage with us in the chat. If you love social media like me, post, share stories, share what you see, hashtag Hacer More. And on behalf of McDonald's and Cool Speak, oh, I forgot to tell y'all, the $500 grand prize winner is going to get a merch bag from McDonald's. Not this one, but they're going to get their own merch bag. The one lucky winner. Nettie, calm down. Chill out. This is like, I've been waiting for this, y'all. I've been waiting to hang out with other parents. I want y'all to know what I've been going through, and I want to know what you've been going through. And I wanted this workshop to be fun and exciting. On behalf of McDonald's and Cool Speak, we want to say thank you. Thank you for being here. Now, who I am going to bring to this microphone, to this stage, I want you to show some love and energy. Post in the chat. We're going to do a Q&A later. We got you. This man is the man that I call when I'm so frustrated from being 45 years old in the second grade. Yes, I get frustrated as a parent, but I'm glad I'm here and I'm glad to have him in my life. He is the CEO of Cool Speak. He is a creative force. He is a father. He is a parent himself. Y'all, please give me some snaps and claps for Carlos Ojeda Jr.
What's up, y'all? Natty, I was just looking at a picture of my father, and I was just thinking that he would be laughing his butt off at me talking to parents because I got to be honest with you, I was a bit of a nightmare. Welcome, y'all. My name is Carlos Ojeda Carlos Alberto Ojeda Torres Rivera de Jesus Jr. Don't worry about that. You can call me Chu because that's what my friends and family call me. All right. And after this session, we're going to be friends and family. But my father would have been laughing because honestly, I was an absolute nightmare. All right. Look at me. I was tough. I ran those streets. Look at those chucks with those black socks. Man, you couldn't tell me nothing. And I was a knucklehead. All right. I was a knucklehead. But my mom and dad were always there for me, even though I was a knucklehead. They just wouldn't quit. When I was in 10th grade, I failed almost every class I could get my hands on. I had history, math, science. I failed them all. The only one I didn't fail was gym. I was on an honor roll for gym, right? But I wasn't doing any homework. I was getting in trouble. I had in-school suspension, out-of-school suspension, detention. But my teachers wanted to give me a chance to stay at school. That meant my mom and dad had to come to school. And I didn't want either of them to come to school because my mom and dad, they were scary. My mama had this mean little militant Puerto Rican mom, so mean, like, if you don't do what she tells you to do, she kills you. Don't laugh. She had a semi-automatic chancla and a belt. She was gangster, right? And then my dad was this tall, diesel, evil-looking, dark-skinned Puerto Rican man, so scary he deserved to be on America's Most Wanted. I didn't want any of them, but my dad came to school, and they gave my dad my file, and he looked at it. And he was freaking me out because he wasn't saying anything, because my dad was quiet. And you got to understand that the way my father communicated with me is by yelling, "Throw out the trash, throw out the trash, where's the remote?" Even when he tried to communicate emotion. "I love you." That's the way my dad talked. And in this moment, out of my dad's mouth comes the sweetest, most beautiful voice I've ever heard in my life. As he looks at my vice principal and he says, "Can I have a moment alone with my son?" And I looked at the vice principal and said, "You can't leave me here with this man. He's going to kill me." And the vice principal left, and I started running away, and my dad was suddenly moving faster than I've ever seen move before in my life, and he grabbed me. And my whole life flashed before my eyes. And in that moment, my dad said something completely unexpected. He said, "Tu abuela, your grandmother, she came from Puerto Rico. She spoke no English. She came to this country not knowing anything. She went up and down the East Coast, wherever she could find work, from one farm to the next, working 13, 14-hour days. She would come home and her hands will be bloody, her feet will be swollen, her clothes will be ripped and dirty, and the very next day she would do it again. And your grandfather, there's a reason why that man's name is not mentioned in this house. He abandoned us. He left us. What kind of man abandons his family? What kind of man leaves his children behind? I was a boy doing a man's job. I've worked my entire life for you and your sisters. I love you." I was like, "Oh, Daddy loves me." He said, "I'm going to give you two options. You can stay in school and live, or you can drop out and die." So I stayed in school. My mom and dad, they worked in factories. My father was a maintenance man. They were just simple people trying to make something of themselves in this world, trying to raise good children, work every day. But they wanted something more from me. But it was hard because when I would go to school, I wasn't getting along with my teachers. My 10th grade geometry teacher told me that I was the greatest piece of garbage he'd ever seen before in his life. I was told that I could either die or drop out, but I would never hold the diploma in his hand. And I know my mom and dad were saying one thing, but when you hear a lot enough times, you start to believe it's true. So I believed it. And by 12th grade, I wasn't doing anything. I did just enough work to get by. And in 12th grade, this really beautiful girl walked by, and I had a crush on her, so I followed her. She went into the guidance office, and I went looking for some guidance, and I walked in there, and there was this crazy Puerto Rican lady there. It was like a teacher. I didn't care about her. I want the girl's number. I got it. And as I was about to walk out, the lady just jumped right in front of me and said, "You're going to go to college." I very respectfully, very politely responded to her, "You're crazy." And she was. She called my mom at home, talked to her in Spanish, started talking to her about college and how I could go to college and how I had potential. She called my father at work during his break and talked to him in English, talking about college fairs and things that we needed to do. And you know what? My parents knew nothing of this, but they got all in. They made me go to the college fairs. They started talking about college. They wouldn't leave me alone about it. And they didn't even know what they were talking about. I said, "You guys are crazy." And this lady, she wouldn't quit. We went on a college tour with this lady, took a tour of the campus. When I ran into that lady, she's like, "You want to come to school here?" I go, "Definitely." She's like, "Well, you need to take the SATs. What I didn't know then and I know now is that I'm deaf. I'm hearing impaired. I only have 5% of my hearing. I have to wear 4 hearing aids in my ears in order to hear, which is great when your wife is yelling at you. Right now, husbands are really uncomfortable looking at their wives because they're like, that's a good idea. And wives are going, man, I need to do that too. But it's not cool when I'm a kid. And everybody labeled me a problem. And my parents were great, but they worked all the time, and I get that. But I stopped raising my hands in class because I made the teachers repeat themselves over and over and over again, and I got lost. Pretty soon, I didn't want to do this anymore. But this lady wouldn't quit on me. And she had my parents backing her up. So every time I tried to get away from that lady, she would just call my mom and dad, and they would make sure that I got back online. They wouldn't stop. And this lady made me fill out the application for the SATs. She even paid for the SATs to help my family. She paid for it. And I took the SATs. And when I got the test results, I was scared to open it. I hid it from my family. And finally, the lady called my house and was talking with my mom, and they were like, track me down and like, grab that paper. And I grabbed that paper, and she's like, "Why don't you open it?" And I go, "I don't want to open it. I don't need a piece of paper to tell me I'm stupid. I hear it enough from other people. Miss, you're awesome. And you're filling me up with hope, but you're setting me up for failure." She's like, "If you open up that letter, failure is the last thing anyone's going to say about you." So I opened it. I was told that I was garbage. I was told that I would never amount to anything, that I would either die or drop out, but I would never hold the diploma in this hand. But the first time I took the SATs, back when they were based out of 1,600, I scored an 1,100 out of 1,600. That lady made me fill out applications to every school imaginable. And I got accepted to all those schools. Every single school I applied to, I got accepted to. And the lady came to my house, and my mom made dinner. And we ate dinner, and then my mom cleared the table, and she went into the kitchen so that we could have some privacy. And the lady looked at me, and she's like, "You ready?" And I said, "Yeah." I pulled out all the letters of acceptance because I got accepted to every university I applied to. And she looked at me, she's like, "Where do you want to go?" And I said, "I want to go to your school because if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here. You believe in me, so I believe in you." And she reached into her briefcase, put out a crisp piece of paper, put it on the table, pushed it over to me, and when I read what it said, I began to cry. "Congratulations, full tuition scholarship." And then, before I could say anything, my mom came busting out of the kitchen crying, "Oh my God, mijo, I love you." Because she's so darn nosy, she was listening the whole time. Because that's what you do, moms. You listen. Super hearing. And she started kissing and hugging me. "Oh my God, oh my God." And then my dad walked in, and I had never seen my father cry. Even when we watched The Lion King, he didn't cry. When Mufasa died, my dad was like, "That's very sad." And so he walked over to me, and I was so excited, and I looked at him, he says, "Good job. Don't forget to throw out the trash." But I didn't care. I got a scholarship. I was going to go to college, and my family was so happy, so proud of me. On graduation night, I was wearing a cap and gown. And when they called my name, Carlos Ojeda Jr., I walked on that stage like I owned the place. And as I got closer and closer to the podium, where they were giving out the diplomas, I started thinking about that teacher, the one that told me that I would either die or drop out, but I would never, ever, ever hold a diploma in this hand. And you know what? She was right. Because I'm left-handed and I grabbed it with this hand. And the moment I grabbed that diploma, there was like 100 Puerto Ricans in the audience going, choo choo! And one, my mom, calling me the one thing I can't stand that she called me. She even called me this on my wedding day. Mi chuchita! And I ran into the crowd looking for my family. Ran through the crowd, and finally the crowd parted. And I saw something I had never seen before in my life. My dad was crying. And before I could say anything, he gripped me up almost violently, like he didn't know how to hug somebody. He hurt my neck. And my mom took a picture of it. She said this was the moment that changed our family forever. My dad held me in his arms. It felt like forever. He buried his head in my neck so that no one would see him crying. She was whispering things that I couldn't hear. But when he stopped crying, he grabbed the back of my head and put our foreheads together so our eyes would meet. And he said, Tú eres mi hijo. You're my son. El hijo de Carlos Ojeda. And you can be whatever you want to be. Go wherever you want to go. Do whatever you want to do as long as you choose to. No dejes. No dejes. Don't let them take your dream, mijo. There's so much more for you to do. And then he said one word. Vete. And in that moment, I realized that was the moment. I realized I wanted to go to college. I wanted to do something with my life. I wanted to do more for my family. But there was a problem. I hadn't sent the deposit. See, when you get accepted to a university, and even if you have the scholarship, you have to send in a deposit. All right. Back then, it was about $200. I had to send a deposit to hold my place. And I got to be honest, I didn't think I was going to go to college. I know this lady was saying this and my family was saying this, but I still didn't believe. So I didn't send the deposit in. So on Monday morning, I called the lady. I called the lady at the university and I literally was crying. I was like, Miss, por favor, please tell me I didn't screw this up. Please tell me that I can still go to school. Please tell me I still have the scholarship. And she started to laugh at me. And I was like, yo, Miss, why are you so cold? She's like, I'm laughing because your father sent the deposit months ago. And I was so happy that I didn't even question it because I was going to go to college. But 13 years ago, my father passed away. And my mother and I started having these Sunday brunches, lunches, where we just get together to talk. And one day we started talking about how Dad came up with the money for the deposit, because $200 for my family back then was very expensive. That was rent, that was mortgage, that was groceries, that was the electric bill. I didn't understand. And I asked her, I said, Mami, ¿cómo pasó? How did Dad do this? And my mom told me, from the moment I was born, my father started to save money, any money he could find. He had a little cancilla, a little bank, those big water jugs, and he would put change in there. If you came to my house and you sat on the couch and you lost some change, it was gone. My dad would grab it, save it. When he got to be too much, he would take it to his credit union and he would deposit. He saved that money for me. He told my mom that he wanted to save it because one day I was going to be the first to go to college and I was going to need it. And I never got to thank him for that. That's the sacrifice that parents make for their children. Those are the things. You don't ever really understand that until you have your own child. But I might not be able to thank him. And I know he's up there and he knows how much it matters. So I will thank you. I will thank you for everything you do, for coming after work and getting on this call and listening to us. Thank you. Thank you for everything you do. Hacer more. That's the theme. That's what you do day in, day out. That's what my mom and dad did. They worked 13, 14-hour days. They never quit. They always pushed. Even when they didn't understand, they pushed harder. Hacer more. That's a part of the fabric of being a parent. And because they did that, because you do that, I took that scholarship. I became the first person in my family's history to go to college. Went to Bloomberg University, got a business management degree with a focus on human resources, a minor in marketing, and a minor in law. I got involved in every organization on campus, edited the newspaper, directed the radio. I learned how to speak French, learned how to play the piano. I graduated from college. The first person in my family's history to graduate from college with honors. My grandmother came from Puerto Rico to see me walk that stage. That was one of the greatest moments of my life. I got a job that paid me more per hour than my mother and father ever got paid. I helped them buy their first house. I realized in order to rise up, I had to rise up. I went back to school. I got my master's at 23. By 25, I was a professor. By 26, I started my first business. 27, started my second. At the age of 30, started the third. And a couple of years ago, started CoolSpeak, the youth engagement company. Now we're a multi-million-dollar company traveling all over the country, inspiring kids, working with amazing organizations like McDonald's and McDonald's Hacer, inspiring millions of kids. All because of parents like you that are willing to make the sacrifice, that are willing to hacer more for your children. So I thank my dad and my mom every day, and I thank you for everything you do. And the reason we're here is because we want to give back to you. Yes, we got prizes, but we want resources and information. That scholarship changed my life. So we want to talk to you about our scholarship. And we want you to post on social media. And we want you to use the hashtag I said more. Share the stories of your family. Share the story of why you I said more for your children. Post pictures of your kids and your hopes and dreams for them. Be part of our motivation. And we're also here to share information on the scholarship. All right. So the scholarship, the Hacer National Scholarship, is funded by Hispanic owner-operators, McDonald's owners-operators. And one of the best things about being part of this program and traveling the country and talking about this program before the pandemic was that we got to meet some of these amazing people, these amazing owner-operators who came from humble beginnings, just like my family, and rose up. And in their success, they wanted to give back to the community, so they fund this scholarship, $500,000. Earlier this year, McDonald's added an extra $500,000 and they gave away $1 million in scholarships, 130 scholarships per hour. Now we're back giving another $500,000. $500,000 for 30 students. It started October 5th. So if you've got a student who's a senior, all right, if you have a child who's a senior, it's time to get them started. All right, the deadline is February 3rd, 2021. And it seems like it's far away, but it's not. You got to get started and stick with the kids. Stick with the process and make sure they complete. Starting is great, completing is better. In order to get all the information, eligibility, and to actually do the application, it's all virtual, it's all online. All you got to do is go to www.mcdonalds.com/hacer. So here's the breakdown. We've got $500,000, two of them, $100K, two for $50,000, two for 20, two for 25, two for $10,000, and $25,000 scholarship. So there is a large amount of money, and it's pretty wide and varied, and they spread that money out pretty good. Now you're probably thinking, this is probably really difficult to get, but no. This is the beautiful thing about this program. It's inclusive and it's accessible. Here are the requirements, all right? The requirements are simple. You need a high school senior, a 2.8 GPA. They got to be younger than 21 years of age and a U.S. resident, eligible to attend a 2-year or 4-year college, university, or technical school, and at least one parent of Hispanic heritage. That's it. It's not that complicated. It's not that hard. Your child can get the scholarship. If you work together as a family, you can make this a reality. All right? Now, here are some other resources that I want to give you and share with you. First of all, everything for the McDonald's Hacer Scholarship you can find at mcdonalds.com/hacer. But if you have a senior, FAFSA, you got to get on there. Free application for federal student aid. The time is now. First come, first serve. You're late. It started already. The financial aid at most universities, it's a first come, first serve basis. So you want to make sure that you're doing that. So you go to fafsa.ed.gov and make sure you start that process. The Hispanic Scholarship Fund is a great clearinghouse for scholarship information, and they also have tons of tools and resources for parents and students to help you on this journey. Big Future at the College Board is great. My 16-year-old son is currently using this right now. Basically, you fill out a profile, and what it does is starts to connect your student and your profile with the colleges that best fit him or her or what they want to be when they grow up, what their careers and what their passions are. All right. So it is an awesome system that allows you to do that. CapEx is very similar. You do a profile, but what they do is they not only find schools that match your profile, they also provide scholarship information that best fits your student. And you can go to our website, CoolSpeak, my company and my partners Ernesto's company, CoolSpeak. We have most of the resources that are on here are on there, but we also have other resources that we have found to be beneficial for students, all free, all available to you. Additionally, a couple more scholarships. We've got the McDonald's Black and Positively Golden Scholarship with the Thurgood Marshall College Fund. You can go to that URL and get that information. And for our Asian and Pacific Islander brothers and sisters, there's the McDonald's API Scholarship available there, and Archway to Opportunity. If you work for McDonald's, there are resources at your fingertips. Archways to Opportunity provides everything from ESL to GED and tuition assistance for college. There's tons of resources to help you rise up. Phenomenal, and to do more. All right. So we just wanted to provide you a little inspiration and a lot of resources that you can use to help your student on their college pathway. Natty, what do you think? Do you think these resources are enough? These great resources and all the scholarship information? I think these parents can really have an impact on their students' lives.
I definitely agree with you. Definitely. That is a wealth. That's a treasure chest of information. Parents, uncles, aunts, tias, grandmothers, whoever is here, please share that information with your students, your kids, and don't forget to enter to win the 25 McDonald Arch Card, $25 McDonald Arch Cards. They're giving away 25 of them. Hit that QR code with your phone or text Hacer More to 866-213-5881. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. You can get breakfast, lunch, and dinner for yourself. You don't have to give it to your kids. That was my little son. Get out of here. Also, one lucky grand prize winner is going to win $500 gift card to Walmart. School clothes, school supplies, backpacks, pencils, paper. Don't forget to enter to win. I said more to 866-213-5881 or hit that QR code. Parents, I'm just going to ask you for me to put in the chat your kids' names. Who are you here for? Why did you show up tonight? Put their names and ages in the chat. You don't have to tell them you love them. Just tell us. Thank you. Also, I think we can Hacer more. Parents deserve everything. I want to bring Chu back so he can share some tips to engage our kids, our students, and support you as parents. Chu, where you at?
I'm right here, Natty, and I got to be honest. This whole pandemic, you and I talk all the time. It's totally switched up the game. And parents, yeah, we're on the stream, and yeah, we did our hair, we've got the lighting, and we're doing this presentation. But we're just like you. We're parents trying to make things work in this crazy world. All right, I've got three kids. I have a 16-year-old junior in high school. I've got an 11-year-old sixth grader. And I've got a 7-year-old first grader. And I will tell you, going through first grade with her, it stinks the second time around. It's hard. Trying to balance this while running my business, while trying to be a good husband. And there are days when it gets rough. And days I feel like I'm not giving my kids enough, right? Because I want to give them everything. And I know you probably feel that way too. So let's do some tips. Let's come up with some ideas on ways that you can connect with your students. They're pretty simple, all right? Talk with them. It's important that we talk to them. They're going through a lot right now. Just talk to them. I talk to my kids about everything. I talk to them about how school's going, how this online learning is going. I ask them about, do they understand what's going on in the world? I ask them all of these questions, right? It's important that we ask them how they feel about everything that's going on and how we might be able to help them, all right? Have a conversation with them. They're stuck at home. They're missing their friends. Take time. I know it's busy. You just got done work and everything, but you got to make time just to have these conversations, just quiet moments. I've had some of the most mind blowing conversations with my kids ever since this pandemic because I got to talk to them. I've got to see how they're doing. It helped me connect with them. Set up a regular study schedule. We are on a regiment here. It's the only way that it works. We are all on a regiment. We start up in the morning, and even I have to do that. I get up at 4 in the morning every day, make sure I can get my work done, maybe get a workout in if I'm not too tired before I help start make breakfast and help my kids get going for school. My daughter is special needs. She's profoundly hearing impaired, so I really do have to be there for her. It's not like I can put her in autopilot. So I make sure that I try there and slip into meetings and go back and forth. And then the study time at the end, we all do our homework together. I bring up my computer, we work together. And that leads to the next one, do work at the same time. We all do our homework at the same time. We do things together at the same time so that we work. And we share the load. I told the kids, you got to do your chores. Everybody's got to be a part of this in order to make it work, right? We're a team. We're trying to survive. We have to work together. Create healthy habits and routines is key. We've done that. Our kids are doing chores all the time, but there are other things. For instance, my daughter needs help with reading. So every single night, in fact, as soon as I'm done with this, I'm going up to my bedroom. She is waiting on my side of the bed. I've got to toss her around because she likes to wrestle a little bit. And then we sit down and we read. She reads to me and I read to her every day. It's our ritual. It's our routine. And I've done that with each of my kids. We do these habits. We play games together. We read together. We work together. We get up at the same time. We work together. So healthy habits and routines are important. And spend the time. Not when they need it, but give them the time that they deserve. If there's one thing that I've learned from this whole thing, is that time is precious. And our kids grow up and things happen. So take the time to be with them, to talk to them, to talk about their dreams and support them. I have found so many things about my kids that I didn't know. I didn't know that my 11-year-old wants to be a fashion designer and a movie director and an eye doctor. I didn't know that my daughter wants to be a cowgirl and a firefighter and an artist and an architect. I didn't know my son wanted to play football. He's played basketball for the last, 6 years. And suddenly he wanted to play football and he made the football team. I've had these moments. Take the time to really connect with your kids and find what their dreams are and support them. Even if you don't necessarily agree with them, support them. Don't squash their dreams. There are plenty of people out there that are ready to do that. Your job is to do more for them, to help them and help raise them up. Do these and the things will get better. This too shall pass, right? This too will go. And the other thing is connect with other parents and create a support system for each other, all right? Because we all need our sanity, and the only way we get through this is together. So we got to be more, we've got to do more, we've got to be more, tenemos que hacer more together. Natty, good advice? Think that'll help our wonderful parents that are on here?
Yes, absolutely. And you scared me because I was reading the chat and I heard Natty, and I was writing down these names: Ariana, Daniel, Emilio, Sofia, Ty, James, Javier, Carolina, and so many more. Parents, thank you for sharing your children, your young adults with us. Those names mean everything, and that is why we are here. Please share the student sessions with them. There are going to be other parent sessions. Please share, please share. Hacer more. Wow. What am I supposed to be saying? Don't forget, that's it. Don't forget to register for the giveaways. Did I? No, I was thinking about the kids. I know what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to be Hacer more. So that's your last chance to register for the grand prize. I'm supposed to be reading a poem. When my son Judah, I have a 25-year-old Yes, I know. Thank you. I have a 25-year-old, I have a 15-year-old, and I have a 7-year-old. That's why I say I am 45 in the second grade. And we're a blended family, so I'm every day with Judah. Judah sees me and he doesn't understand that mommy is working. This computer writing poems, he doesn't understand that mommy is working, but mommy is doing this for Judah, for Olivia, for Tatiana, and all of the students that I have the privilege of serving. Parents, I wrote a poem. May I share it? I called my dad, um, and when it's time for me to speak Spanish or write something in Spanish and I don't have the words, I call my dad. I was like, Daddy, how do you say this? Imagino lo que podríamos hacer. Imagine what we could do. Imagine reaching higher than ever before. Imagine being the change of generations. Imagine pursuing higher education. Imagine making the world a better place. There are so many of us born on this land and beyond, wondering who we could be if just given an opportunity. We are a proud people, a wonderfully made tapestry. We are the American dream. We come from hardworking hands, sueños and hope seeds carried in our hearts. We rise and represent so many countries, life experiences, cuentos y canciones, backgrounds, new stories to climb. We create, we weave. We were made for this new wave of change. $1, $2, $3 menu. We are the yellow smile of sunshine de todos colores, banderas sin fronteras, en las mañanitas, the dawn of an open door. Somos un tejido de amor, me and you, they and them. We stand on the shoulders of giants. We are the soundtracks of dreamers, of our ancestors of the future. We are making our own way, our own story, one golden arch at a time. We are here now and alive. Thank you, Hacer, 1985. Hispanic American Commitment to Educational Resources. A ver lo que, imagínate, imagino lo que podríamos hacer juntos, pa'lante, nunca detrás. The time is now. The time now, parents, is for us to challenge you, to ask you, how are you going to hacer more for your students, for your young people? We want you to stick around and hang out with us in the Q&A. Please keep lighting up the chat. Thank you for being here. Thank you, everybody that had something to do with this session. Thank you, Jessica Montoya down there, the American Sign Language interpreter. Thank you, McDonald's. Thank you, McDonald's owners and operators. Thank you, parents. Thank you, www.hacertour.com. And now I know y'all want to know who won the $500 in merch bag, the $500 gift card. Drum roll, drum roll, drum roll. Check your text message and see if you won that $25 arch card. Natasha. Oh, man, y'all better quit playing with me. Natasha in New Jersey. What's up, yeah? I was like, me, I won. Congratulations, Natasha. Congratulations. New Jersey in the building. Man, y'all had me scared. I thought I won something. Congratulations, Natasha. $500. Okay, parents, it's parent time. Put it in the chat. We're going to hang out just for a little bit. Q&A. Chew, where you at? Chew, where you at? Can you come back? Chew, where you at?
I'm back, Nadia. I am back. The chat is crazy. I've been reading. I've been getting emotional. So many people. Hey, Jersey in the house. Jersey in the house. Yes, that's my hometown. I'm so happy. Home state. I'm excited. I know people have some questions. It's been awesome. Let's see. There's the first question. Is there a way to get a waiver or discount on the fees for college application? Javier, yes, there are. If your student goes to school there's a bunch of different organizations. You can go to Gear Up or Trio or Upward Bound. There are the opportunities for them to fill out the waiver, but sometimes it's just a matter of actually talking to the college or university and asking if there's a fee waiver. If you go to a college fair, I actually tell everybody, you go to every table, you ask them if there's a waiver. You ask them, and they'll say yes or no, and you'll know. Actually, one of the resources I just shared, Natty, the College
Mhm.
Board actually helps with those waivers as well. You can fill out an application, and if you're eligible, they will help with the application waivers. So there are ways that you can get those discounts. You just got to work for it. And one of the best ways and best resources is ask your counselor at school.
Right.
Your guidance counselor at school knows all this information. They know this information, so you want to ask. So don't necessarily have to pay any more money than you have to, right? So ask the questions, look for the resources. If you look for it, you will find it. Um, what's another question? Let's see. What do we got here? Oh, there goes another one. How many colleges or universities and scholarships should my student be applying for? Okay, so that's two different things. For college and university, I usually like to say you want to get a fallback school, so like community college or whatnot. You want to do about three schools that you really 3 to 4 schools that you want to go, and then you want to go for those dream schools, those 2 to 3 dream schools that you really want to go. So around 7 schools are usually a really good amount. Scholarships, opposite. Scholarship, you apply for as many as you possibly can. The average, last time I checked, was anywhere between 72 to 75 applications that you have to fill out just to get one scholarship. All right. And so a lot of guidance counselors tell people that you've got to apply to like 10 or 20 a week. Just keep going. Use those resources that we provide that give you a listing of all the applications. And you know what? Make it a family event. On Sundays, we're going to have family dinner. We're going to do a little work. People are folding. You pick the smallest child, the run of the litter, and you say, okay, now you got to lick the envelope because you got the crappiest job. But you make it a family, you use the chancla, but you work as a family to help that student, because if we're going to celebrate things like sweet 16s and parties and this, and we got to celebrate these amazing moments when our students are succeeding, right? And we work together as a family. I will tell you, there is no greater moment than when my parents saw me graduating, knowing that their child was going to go to college with a scholarship, right? And we work together to make that happen, all right? So as long as you work together on that, you can do that. So for scholarships, apply a lot. For applications for schools, anywhere between 5 to 7, all right, depending on where you want to go. Let's see, what else? We got another question. How can I best support my student through the scholarship process? Got to be there, right? Got to be there every step of the way. Got to ask a lot of questions. Damaris, you got to ask tons of questions again and again. Always being there, being consistent, asking questions, talking to the counselor. You're not going to know everything, and you're not necessarily meant to, but you've got to try. There's this thing called Google. There's the internet. There's counselors. There's books. You can read and find this information. We're more connected to information than ever, and you have to be consistent and persistent with your child. I will tell you that the biggest problem isn't getting kids to start applications for scholarships. It's about completing those scholarship applications and finishing them. That is it. There are millions of dollars out there of scholarship that go unawarded because nobody applied. All right. So you want to be consistent and see it all the way through. Be a part of that process. Just don't ask them, hey, did you get it done? And they say, yeah. Natty, how many times you've asked Judah, be like, did you do it? Yeah. And yeah is kind of relative, right? It's
Right.
not necessarily the real deal, right? So you want to really be persistent. Do we
And
have any other
encourage.
questions? Yes, a lot.
Encourage. Mm-hmm.
It's going to be tough. They're going to be real, and especially now during this time, it's really
Yeah.
difficult. So any words of encouragement help. Encourage yourself. Look in the mirror and go, "You're amazing." And do it for your students. They need it too, right? Natty, you are amazing. Jessica,
Thank
you are amazing. All right, Chew,
you. Are amazing.
you all right? You okay? You all right? I got a
are
question
amazing.
here.
Okay.
At what grade level should my son apply for scholarship? Someone in the chat just threw that up. That's a good question. You want to start looking and searching around 11th grade. We're doing that now. We're not applying for anything, but we're already looking. So we want to prep. So Alberto doesn't necessarily like this part of it. My son Alberto, he's really like laid back. He's like, I got plenty of time, and I was like, no, we got to do this. So we're filling out the stuff on College Board. We're filling out different profiles so we can start getting that information. So you start looking at 11th grade, and you start getting ready the applications early the summer, right before. Get all the work that you need ready, because fall is when you start sending those out. And it also depends on the scholarship, because some of them have different deadlines. So some of
Right.
them you'll have to do earlier, some of them later. Great. I hope that answers that question. Natty, we have 4 more sessions, right? They're really 2 on the same day, but we do them in English and Spanish, so it's 4 sessions. So if you missed it, or you know parents that should, we're going to post up the schedule. And starting next week, we start doing student programming. Get your students, get the school signed up, get them to be a part of it. They're going to get presentations, they're going to get prizes, celebrities, books, resources. They're going to get tons of stuff. And we're going to post all of that at the end of this. And also on November 21st, it's a Saturday, we're doing a family event, right? On a Saturday, so you don't have to worry about work and being tired. You and your kids can get together and come do this program together as a family. We're going to do everything from scholarship, essay writing, giving you strategies on how you can work together as a family through this college process. It's going to be epic. All right. So we're going to post all that information as soon as we're done here. So we hope that this is not the end or goodbye, that we'll see you at other programs and all the other events that we're going to be doing. So thank you. Natty, thank you. You were awesome. Jessica, thank you. On behalf of Cool Speak and McDonald's, thank you, parents, for being with us. Thank you for everything you do for your students, the sacrifice that you do for your children. Thank you for Hacer more. All right? And let's keep that going. All right? Thank you very much. One love.
Bye, parents. #I said more.